Welcome, everybody. This is Tim Sutton with a new perspective. This is our seventh show of this season, and typically, what I do, I bring on guests who are living the disability journey or autism journey, Alzheimer's, dementia journey, and bring people on to kind of tell their story and show some amazing things that people are doing, caregivers are doing, parents are doing. And as I usually bring on guests each week, I this week I'll be the guest. I'm going to be filling you in on some things that are happening here in Virginia. If you haven't seen the show before, again, my name's Tim Sutton. I'm a law enforcement officer in Virginia and 34 years in law enforcement. And back in 2003, I started working with a lot of families that were dealing with disabilities, which I prefer to call diffrabilities because they're different type of abilities these individuals have. So they have differabilities, and I've worked with a lot of the families through the years, and I've traveled the state, traveled the country, teaching public safety and other audiences about autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, and a lot of your just disability awareness things. And again, just kind of coined the word differabilities because they have everybody has an ability. Sometimes people have a little bit different abilities and how they do things and the way they do things, but one thing I discovered through my career working with the families is many of the families that are going through these journeys, you're doing it alone. They don't have a lot of help in dealing with what they're dealing with and having people take an active role in their life and just helping them throughout life. And the one key thing that got me a couple years after I had started working with the families, it was probably 2005. I remember I was over visiting with a family who had a son. They had a son with autism, and the mom. I think I was working with probably about 50 or 60 families at the time, most of whom were children with autism. And I remember the mother told me, she said, I just don't know anybody that's dealing with what I'm dealing with. And I thought, I'm working and helping a lot of these families. And where I came into play was, a lot of times people with cognitive issues will wander away, get away from their caregiver, or elope and get away from their parents, to where law enforcement we end up coming out and searching for them. So that's how I got introduced to a lot of the families. But I came to the realization that while the elopement and the wandering was an issue, these families were dealing with a lot more than we really understood. But this mother said, she said, I just don't know anybody that's dealing with what I'm dealing with. And yeah, at the time I had about 50 other families, and I thought, I've got so many families out there in my community, in the county where I work, who are dealing with the same thing, but none of them know each other. And I kept wondering, how do we get these families together? And just so they can network and interact and meet each other. And I realized, having a dinner for them, if we had a restaurant we were going to, it could be mass confusion in that restaurant with the parents bringing the kids and trying to keep everybody corralled, especially with autism. And then I thought, okay, well, many of these families are not going to feel comfortable leaving their children with somebody so they could come and have a dinner and have dinner with these other families. So one thing I just scouted out the community and different businesses, and I actually came across a place, Pump It Up, that does inflatable parties. They have the slides, trampolines, and ball pits and things like that, and they do birthday parties. And I had learned that a lot of that stuff is very therapeutic for individuals with disabilities, different. And I went to the business and I talked to them, and they told me the price for a 2-hour party. But when I told them what I was trying to do, goal was to get these families together. They actually told me that I could have the place anytime I wanted for free, and they would actually supply pizzas and everything. And they're employees, all the employees were trained up in differabilities. And I started once a year, and once in the spring, once in the fall, I would send invites out to the families and say, bring your sisters, everybody you can think of to come and enjoy some time together. And I even had my children there, and I had to sit them down. They were young at the time, and I said, "Look, I want you to realize this. I want you to have fun. I don't have children with disabilities, but I want you to have fun. But this party is not about you. It's about these kids and these families because many times they don't get invited to a lot of the birthday parties and events like this, but specifically for them." And we went the invites out, and I actually had deputies working for me wanted to be a part of it. And I said, "Come on, bring your kids, but let them play. Go in there and play. We'll play. Give parents a break." And it was interesting to me because the parents would congregate into this one room where they were serving all the pizza, and my children were running around bringing food to everybody. Deputies and other people were in there playing with the kids, going down the slide and things. And it was very neat to see the networking that was going on. I remember specifically one of the parents was talking about their child who would not stay in a car seat. Driving was very difficult. Driving down the road is very difficult because, specifically with autism, many times there's so much sensory stuff going on, and they're being inundated with things, and they have a difficult time riding in a car. And one of the other parents says, "Well, we've got this harness that we don't use anymore. If it'll help you keep your child in the seat, then you're welcome to it. Here, give me your phone number." So it was a way to get the families to really meet each other and interact and become a support for each other. So out of that, we did that for a few years, and then just things got busy. And I'm actually a patrol sergeant. I'm on the road working, supervising the county, and trying to run this program. But I developed a passion for what these families were dealing with, and that's what kind of led me to travel around the country, teaching, educating people on autism, Alzheimer's, and other issues going on. And as of late, I've got my consulting business. I travel around doing the teaching and training. I was actually in Lynchburg, Virginia last week, the month before in Fredericksburg, Virginia, training officers, and the month before that in Chesterfield County, training officers. So I do that, but I also I wanted to find a way that we could uh, have resources, have the abilities to help families. And I've got a lot of people on my team helping me. I'm just one cog in the wheel. But a friend of mine, Kelly Kramer, I had on the show last year. She's a mental health worker locally. She has two children on the spectrum. She is the president of a nonprofit that we have just recently formed. We're in the process of forming it now, and it's called a betterunderstanding.org. And what we're trying to do is go out and help families that are dealing with issues related to differabilities. We recognize that these kids and adults, they have amazing abilities. They may do things a little bit differently than neurotypical individuals or somebody who does not have a disability. But we wanted to get a group of people together to form this nonprofit and start having events for these individuals, whether they be in group homes. We did an event with the Richmond Flying Squirrels minor league baseball team a couple months ago, and it was all about differabilities. And we had group homes coming out to the to the diamond just to see the ball game, and we kept hearing how so many of these individuals said they'd never been to a baseball game. So this was an opportunity to bring them out, let them see what it's all about. They may watch television and see it on television all the time, but this way we were able to plant them right there in the middle of all of it, recognize them, and show how appreciated they are. And out of this nonprofit, developing this nonprofit, we've got a lot of support. We've got some parents that are on the board who have children with autism and there are other differabilities. We've actually, if any of y'all saw a few weeks ago, I had Jeff Katz with WRVA from the Jeff Katz Show. We discussed his daughter's differability, and he's on our board as well. And I've been on his show a few times. It's on WRVA, iHeartRadio from 3 to 6 every day in the afternoon. And we've discussed a lot. So he's on our board. But we've got so many people involved, and our goal is to do some things just to recognize and have events for our friends. And if if you check out their website at betterunderstanding.org, you'll see what we're trying to accomplish. We've got four main things we want to get across to people, and want people to understand and recognize that we're trying to um, reach these communities and offer support, offer understanding. But there are four things we're key things we're looking for. We're trying to raise awareness. Um, and help people become aware of differabilities, and understanding the abilities that they do have. And every single person has an ability. It's just they may do it differently. We want to try to encourage acceptance, so the community accepts. We're trying to foster an atmosphere of acceptance of all individuals, regardless of their ability. We're trying to, get some acknowledgement, honor those individuals and businesses too that are taking an active role in helping people with disabilities. I know locally here in the Richmond area, there's a Lowe's in Hanover County that actually has hired a friend of mine years ago. I talked about him on the show numerous times, Austin Gammon, and they gave him an opportunity. He's got a job at Lowe's, and as of 2 months ago, they actually offered him a full time job. So Lowe's here in Central Virginia has taken an active role in acknowledging that they are great employees, people with any type of differability. So I give a shout out to Lowe's every time I get an opportunity for doing what they're doing. But there's so many other businesses out there that are doing the same thing. Personally, I'd love to know on the website. You can message us, contact us. I would love to know other businesses that are taking that stance and taking that step to help these families, giving these individuals an opportunity. Because I can promise you won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And we're also trying to really promote advocacy. We want to advocate with our friends with disabilities and assist them and help them along their journey of advocating for themselves. So that's the basis of what we're trying to do with this nonprofit here. And we would love to hear from anybody anywhere, not just here in Virginia, not just here in Richmond area, but we really want to reach out and help the families. So we've actually come up with things. I told you we did the event at the Diamond with the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Parney, the GM of the Squirrels, was very interested in what we were doing. Took an active role in getting us in there and allowing us to have that event, be a part of that event. So, I want to thank the Flying Squirrels and Parney. But we've got some events coming up here locally, and you can go to the website again. It's betterunderstanding.org, and we're going to be posting things. But I just wanted to give you an idea if you're watching locally and interested in being part of it. I know June 11th in Ashland, Virginia, which is in Hanover County. They have the Strawberry Fair every year up there, and I believe it's from might be around noon, 10 to 5. I think it's on the website, the actual um, times, and I believe it, yeah, 10 to 5 on June 11th in Ashland. We're going to be there. A better understanding. We're going to have a table set up. We would love to have you come introduce yourself to us, and we can share some more information about what we're trying to do. It's kind of growing every day. We're brainstorming, trying to find events for individuals with these disabilities, whether you're old, young, or whatever. We don't care. It's for you. What we're trying to do is do things for you. Um, we want to raise that public awareness at this event. We'll have a donation jar if you want to donate to us. It's a nonprofit again, and it's all going to a great cause. We're looking at July 16th. If anybody's familiar with the Hanover Sports Park in Hanover County, we've approached them. They've got a putt-putt, they've got batting cages, they've got driving range, different games and events. They were very interested in getting involved in what we're doing. So on July 16th, we're going to have an event there. It's a better understanding event. Um, Percentage of the sales that night at that Hanover Sports Park will go to ABU to help us in further in our journey. And also, there'll be donation jars there and other places. They've actually said that they'd be happy to set up a donation jar. And if if you feel inclined, we'd love to have donation to help us get this going. And August 13th, Of course, it'll be hot, but in Poor Farm Park in Hanover County, it's up, if you're familiar, up by Patrick Henry High School. We're going to have a dance party for individuals with differabilities. So I would encourage you to come out. We don't have the exact times yet. You can check the website and we'll have that for you. But it's a dance party. There'll be rock painting. We're going to have barbecue. Um, we're going to be showing a movie that night, Happy Feet. And what we want to do is is have the admission is going to be a school supply. So what we want to do is collect school supplies, and I think we're going to try to set something up at the Hanover Sports Park as well. Um, don't nail me down to that, but we're trying to set it up so people can come up there and donate school supplies to help some of the individuals and families when September rolls around. It's time to go back to school. So, but the dance party, movie night, and everything, we're just asking that families bring school supplies. We're trying to get a bus. We want to fill the bus. We want to fill that school bus with school supplies that we can actually help families out, not just in Hanover County, but the whole Richmond area, the Tri-City area, or anywhere else that we're able to, step in and help out with things. So yeah, we're going to still be, even in September, we're going to be trying to get school supplies to help out and just give it to kids and give it to families that are in need. October, we're looking at doing some type of trunk or treat, something for the fall. And, it's not just the kids. We may make our rounds to some group homes, assisted living facilities, and have some events and show them some recognition and let them know that people are out there thinking about them, wanting to help them. November, we're looking at possibly a Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe we can adopt some families who are in need or just, having some struggles. I mean, COVID has been difficult. Obviously, gas prices, everything's going up. All the prices are going up. But we want to be able to help some families that may be in need for that holiday. And in Christmas coming around, we are going to try to participate in the Mechanicsville Christmas Parade here in Hanover. Um, we want to meet more and more people that are dealing with differabilities and offer our support as best we can. And we had this event last year, a Christmas party for people with differabilities. And the Mechanicsville Moose Lodge actually allowed us their building for free. And we had probably about 50 or so kids come with their families. We had a meal for everybody, food for everybody. And we actually had Santa Claus. I had no idea Santa Claus was trained up in autism and other differabilities. But he was so happy to meet so many amazing kids. And we had gifts. He was able to give gifts to all the kids that were there. So it was a huge event. And again, we appreciate everybody that came out and participated in that. But we're looking to have even a bigger event this year and meeting some wonderful people. But just I'll tell you, we're one another thing we're working with is I don't know if you've checked out the Jeff Katz show, but through Jeff Katz, we were able to meet a young lady, Emily, and I would encourage you to check out emilysbracelets.com. Emily, I believe she's 23, and her brother PJ, and a family, amazing family. I got to see them last week at the Virginia Law Enforcement Foundation. They had a thing at Green Top here in Hanover County, sporting goods, and a bunch of law enforcement. But Emily was out there, and she makes bracelets for law enforcement, different fire department. There's a lot for military, but she has cerebral palsy, but she has taken something that she was using for therapy, taking beads, putting them on pipe cleaners. But she and her family have rolled that into Emily's bracelets, and she makes these bracelets, and they're for sale on her website for like $5. And I think every dollar or a portion of every sale goes to a nonprofit. Well, she's in the process of designing and a better understanding bracelet. Our board, we just got pictures of 3 different bracelets today, and we're going to vote to see which one we want to be our bracelet. But she's doing that for us, and we just wanted to get her out there. So I'd encourage you to check her out, emilysbracelets.com, see what she's got. She's supporting the community, and the community is supporting her. She is making these law enforcement fire bracelets, and we just admire her for what she's doing. And it's a wonderful family. Actually had her at the Flying Squirrels game. She actually, did us the honor of throwing out the first pitch for the ball game, and we're very appreciative of that, and it was great to have her there. Um, we're really looking at doing a lot of different things to help the families and help individuals here. So I would encourage you, please contact us if you've got questions. Please go to the website, contact us if you want to become a part, or you've got ideas of some things that would be beneficial or be great events to have. If you're interested in sponsoring some of these events as a business or an individual, we would love to hear from you and love to hopefully work with you and be able to do some amazing things. I know there are a lot of nonprofits out there that are doing work to help families, but this is just another avenue to be able to reach out and show these families, this population, that they are important, that they do matter. But sometimes they are not able to participate in some things um, due to various reasons. But we want to make events for these families and these individuals to come out and show they're cared about, they're important, and we want to have these events just to spotlight them. Like Emily, had a few years. Well, I believe it was last year on the show. Joey Fry, who is in Fredericksburg, he's in his 20s. He has autism, but he's an artist and he has an art studio up there. I had he and his mother on the show talking about his paintings and explaining some of the paintings. And I encourage you to check out Artism by Joey. Um, he one thing he will do, and I think it's pretty cool. But if you can commission him out for a painting and tell him 6 or 7 things that are special to you, and he will actually incorporate. He'll paint a picture, and all of those elements are in that picture. It may not mean anything to anybody else, but that person that commissioned him out, those 6 or 7 things are very special to him. I mean, special to them, and he incorporates them. So it means something to that person. Right? But I encourage you to check out Artism by Joey, see what he's doing. We've got so many people out here that are doing amazing things. And my goal with a new perspective and what we're trying to do with a better understanding .org, we want to spotlight, showcase some awesome, awesome people. So I would ask you, spread the word, tell people about us. It's a group of us that have a heart for disabilities, and again, I'm using the word diffrabilities because they're capable of doing so many things. Sometimes they just do it differently. So please keep that in mind, and we would love to hear from you. If you have any ideas of some things we can do, other avenues to explore, just to raise awareness. Remember the 3 A's. The 3 A's we have. It's on the website. It's raise awareness and encourage that acceptance, the acknowledgement. We acknowledge that they're part of our community. They're a valuable part of our community, and hopefully go out and we can advocate for them, teach them and assist our friends with differabilities to how to advocate for themselves. And we're just happy to be a part of this community. I've been blessed with my job being able to work with families in a public safety realm. I would encourage any of you, if you have somebody in your residence or where you live that is dealing with a differability, and it may be an issue should public safety, whether it's fire, EMS, or law enforcement, if for some reason they need to respond to your residence for something, I would encourage you to get with your local jurisdiction and ask them, is there a way to put some information in your computer system so if we have an issue and we have to call 911 for help? I've had people come to me and say, I don't understand what it has to do with law enforcement, this issue, or what it has to do with law enforcement, public safety, fire. And I know in the class I taught last week in Lynchburg, I try to make sure I bring it up every class. But one analogy I use is if somebody had autism and it's a child with autism and they live and their bedroom is upstairs in the back of the house. And a lot of times with autism, when they get stressed, they need to decompress. They may have a certain area they go to decompress, to settle down, to calm down, to stem, just to deal with what's going on. I said, so if they wake up in the middle of the night and they smell smoke or they know something's on fire, they may very well go to that closet and hide in that closet just trying to decompress. Well, that's information that the fire department, when they're responding to that house, when it may be on fire, they need to know that information. They need to know, okay, second floor in the back on the left, that's a bedroom. Somebody on the spectrum is in that room. And when they have to decompress or they get stressed out, they go to a closet and hide because those firefighters need to know when they get to that house, they have got to get to that closet to find that individual and get them out. And I actually had a situation. If anybody's familiar with the lady Deborah Rue with Rue Global Impact, it's all about disabilities. But she and I had a discussion about her daughter, who was living in an apartment complex, and her daughter had Down syndrome. And she talks about her daughter all the time, but she was concerned because when the fire alarms went off in the apartment complex, her daughter's she's in her 30s, but her natural course of action was to go get in the bed and try to hide because she was scared. Well, I had Deborah call our department, our communications department, get the information in the CAD system so that when fire and if they got a call to go out to that apartment complex because of a fire, they would get the information while they were en route to the call. Hey, there's somebody in there that may not be trying to get out of the apartment. They may be scared. They may be trying to hide. So these firefighters knew they needed to get in there and get her out. And to be honest with you, it's going to be a struggle probably because that's that safe place. That's where that person is safe. And for all firefighters or whoever to come in there and try to take her out of that environment, it's going to be difficult, but it needs to be done. They need to know that. So I would encourage families that are dealing with differabilities, disabilities, to call up and disclose that information and get it in those computer systems. I always say almost every show when I was sworn in as a police officer, I was not sworn, and these firefighters are not sworn to protect a certain population. We are out there to protect all populations. What I'm trying to do is go out and educate public safety and other groups. I will speak to any audience because 99.9% of the time when I speak to groups, there are quite a few people in those groups that are either personally or professionally affected by differabilities, and they need to know this information so we can keep our community safe. And that's the main goal. So I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you and let you know what's going on here in the Richmond area, and I would love for it to expand out across the country. What we're trying to do, and it's just be a support system and be somebody who understands what's going on, but also wants to recognize some amazing people and shine that spotlight on them to let the rest of the world know how amazing they are and afford these opportunities for the dance parties. We also want to be able to be a support when families who are dealing with these situations are in need, you know, asking for donations and things. We want to be able to reach out and help families that are dealing with or struggling with things, whether it's bringing them groceries, providing meals, helping them with gas so they can get to the jobs. But we want to be that support system for this population. So I would encourage you again, please check us out at a betterunderstanding.org. I kind of went over our four main things that we're trying to get across, and I appreciate it. And please keep check on the website. We're changing things time and time again. The website's right here, and if you look at our four, the core things we're trying to get across: the awareness, the acceptance, the acknowledgement, and the advocacy. If there's anything we can do to better serve this population, please contact us, let us know. But we're here and we would love to hear from you. This picture you see here is the ABU crew when we were out at the Diamond with the Richmond Flying Squirrels. And we're trying to do some things to get out there and help families. So thank you for being here tonight. I believe I'll have a guest next week. Not sure which one it's going to be. I've got a couple that want to be on the show with me, and I want to highlight them and what they're doing. But I do appreciate everybody being here. I thank you so much. And if please reach out to us and let us know you're watching. Let us know you checked out the website, and please, any information you can give us, any advice or suggestions, please let us know. So just want to thank everybody for being here so much. And Dad, I love you. Thanks for watching. Take care.